for the diaspora, you are the single candidate who received the most number of votes, with 36, I believe.
True.
The white paper vote got 63. How does it make you feel that you are on top of that list? How did it make you feel today? Did you know you would get such a large number of people voting for you?
That makes me feel more responsible than ever.
Yes.
I believe that the MPs that voted for me did not only vote for a person, they voted for a choice. That of bringing back to our country sovereignty, reforms and development. I would like to thank each and every MP that voted, and I consider that this session, though everybody expected we would not come out with the president, but we should see it as a primary session within the opposition. Today, between those that voted for me, the 36 votes, between those that supported me but that could not come because of the short notice, 4 MPs, MP Named Freire, MP Fouad Makhzoumi, MP Salim Sayer and MP Sidri Dajaja. So we are starting at 40 MPs out of the 67. I think it's a very good first consolidation of the opposition, but I believe that we will not be able to make a real change before getting the 67 together around a program and a person. And that's why, starting by why I represent the clear majority of that opposition, I am giving a hand to those who did not vote for me yet, and to tell them, let's all be together. We are a diverse opposition, but we need to build on what gets us together, to be able, unites us, to be able to make a real change in Lebanon.
Just for people who don't know your background, you are the son of the slain, assassinated President-elect Rene Moawad, Allah yarhamhu, 1990, the day before he was going to take office, he was assassinated. You mentioned Fouad Shahab too, you have a history. Is there a connection with the former president?
Of course, Rene Moawad, first of all, started his life with Fouad Shahab. He started being one of the symbols of the Shihabi system, and that's why we were brought up in a house where we believe Lebanon's neutrality in the famous meeting between Fouad Shahab and Abdel Nasser on the Lebanese border, just to say that Lebanon will stay with his Arab neighbors, but at the same time the internal sovereignty is a sovereignty of the state, and of course the state of institutions that was symbolized by Fouad Shahab. So this is why I said, in politics, I am the son of Fouad Shahab and Rene Moawad.
Because let's tell everybody, the Fouad Shahab era was the most stable for Lebanon since independence in 1943.
And most of the state institutions that were built in this year.
And this is why it's really important to recognize that, and studying Lebanese history was for me the area that represented the stabilization and the nationalism and patriotism that really represented Lebanon. So we've had a change and chaos since then, since his passing. So your father would have been a potential candidate to bring some sort of stability. And so now I'm speaking because of the history that potentially this is what other people see, the possibility that you could represent for Lebanon. But we're not there yet.
No, we're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
But I have said in a previous meeting in Parliament that yes, Lebanon needs a consensus. But the consensus should not be around a weak president. The consensus should not be that we stay each of us where he is and then choose whoever has no history or cannot have any opinion on anything and say this is the consensus, because a weak president will not make a new Lebanon. That's why the consensus should be exactly like the consensus that brought Fouad Shahab as a president after the Thawra in 1958, around a program of sovereignty and state institution, or like the consensus that brought Rene Moawad as a president after the Ta'if agreements, around a clear program of sovereignty, change, and building state institutions.
Strength comes from having the majority behind you, but strength also comes with you as a potential candidate. And strength, as we know, on a universal platform, global platform, your connections, your relationships with foreign governments, your connections with global institutions, World Bank, IMF, how strong do you feel they are for Lebanon? Because we need that also.
You know, today a lot of our Lebanese friends have lost interest in Lebanon because we are not a sellable product anymore, unfortunately. We have been a synonym of corruption, of clientelism, of loss of sovereignty, of militias. We need to bring back the Lebanon that resembles its people, the Lebanon that resembles its diaspora.
Are you that candidate?
I hope the MPs and the Lebanese people will think that I am this candidate.
What about the global powers?
I believe, of course, that first of all, because of what I represent popularly as an independent force, not linked to anyone. Second, because of the international relations I do have, so I can be an ambassador for Lebanon. Third, all that needs a unified opposition. If we do not unite, no one of us, or not one single part of the opposition, can really do a real change.
I'm going to ask you one final question. This is going to catch you off guard, so I'm warning you, but it's out there in the society. What is your relationship with Antoine Sahnaoui? Is there anything untoward? Because they make comments about this.
Yes, of course. You need to know that Antoine Sahnaoui is a childhood friend of mine that I know since I was 1 year old, way before he was an MP. I will not say that he is not a childhood friend because of what happened, but of course, you know, and everybody knows very well, that this does not influence at all any of my stances towards reform, financial reform, and the necessity of having a fair distribution of the losses within the Lebanese people. Not any friendship, and I have lots of friends, and I think this is a small country. And I believe that people that try to say that I do not have friends within the system are simply lying. We all know each other. The difference is that I am transparent and I say exactly what I have, and I do not have friendships under the carpet.
Well done.
Good luck next time.
Thank you.